Okay, so I was going back on the channel, and I was looking at my analytics, and I was looking at what are the videos that are basically landing in the top 10 videos that I have recorded over the years. And one of them popped up, which is titled Starting a Daycare Business, How to Set Your Prices, Three Things to Avoid. It is actually ranking as the number fifth video in my of all my videos, and the last time I actually did that was in 2018. So I am going to actually refresh that video for 2024 2025, and I'm going to go over with you how to actually set your prices and how to ensure that you are charging the right price. So we're going to jump right in. So what I'm actually going to do, so in that video I actually had three things to avoid. In this video, I'm going to give you 6 things to avoid. So we are going to elevate that video with 3 more things to avoid, and just give you that refresh. So before we hop in, if you're new to me, my name is Ashley Benz. I'm the founder and creator of our Childcare Business Executive Tools, Ashley Benz Consulting, where I actually help you launch, automate, or expand your early childhood education business. I've been doing this I've got 20 years of experience, 10 years running and operating my own childcare business, and then 10 years consulting others. So the first thing that you want to avoid is you want to avoid underpricing to attract clients. Now, this is one that is it's tempting to do that, especially for those of you that are like getting started, you're new to this, but it's very tempting to want to charge lower rates so that you can attract your clients in. Now, I get that in the beginning, if you are trying, like maybe you're running a special and things like that, like that's perfectly, like I get that. Like it has to be, if you're doing that, there has to be a strategy behind it, but that cannot be your like main price, like the prices that you normally, or your normal rates. That's what I'm trying to say. So you definitely want to avoid that. Now, I did that in the beginning, and I'm going to tell you what happened to me. So when I first started, I actually charged low prices. And what I did was I got on what we call here CCAP, which is a Child Care Assistance Program. So I, offered that to clients and families that came in, and it's for the low income families. And what happened to me, you guys, is that the majority of the families that were in my center at that time in the season of my business was all low income. So I'm going to say at that time, I probably had about 70 to 75% was low income families. Now, mind you, I have nothing against low income families. I honestly, the reason why I did that was because I wanted to help people. I wanted to help my community, and especially like my heart goes out to single moms. And so anyway, so I was kind of in that frame of mind. However, I always say this, okay? Your childcare business is going to be as stable as your clients. Oh, so what happened to me is that because these low income families did not have stable jobs, right? Some of them were going to school, which is, again, like I have a soft spot in my heart for that. Because, being a mom myself, and I'm not even a single mom, and I don't even see how single parents do it. So if you're a single mom out there, honey, listen, hats off to you. But because of the fact that, these families that I had were not stable in their jobs, in their careers, then that caused my business to not be stable. So, and then what happened, here's what happened. I want to say it was in 2010, 2011-ish, because I started my childcare business in 2005. So the government actually put a cap on the CCAP. And so what that means is that they were no longer accepting any new families into the program. And there were some other stipulations that were happening where there was either they were going up on or lowering the amount that they would help families pay, so that then the co-pays went up, and it was just a big mess. And so I was forced at that time in my business, I was forced to actually then because we lost families because of that. But I was forced then to have to really kind of go in and rebrand myself to attract private pay clients. So you have to avoid setting your prices and underpricing to attract the clients because often if you guys see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes, but offering rates that are too low to cover your operational costs, or offering rates that are too low to cover your operational costs, will lead to financial stress. So but it's just it doesn't work. It's not something that's going to work with setting your prices, so avoid that. Okay, number two, avoid complex or confusing pricing structures. So simplicity is the key when it comes to your tuition. Now, what is very common in our industry is to charge by the age. I don't teach that when I'm working with a client, when I'm helping someone figure out their pricing structure, or we're doing running numbers and things like that. I don't recommend that. I started out charging by the age of the child, and then come to find out that doesn't really make business sense. Now, I will tell you that infants, yes, I can see where that makes business sense, because the infant to child ratio, meaning that you have to have X amount of teachers per child, is higher. So that's probably where that is the only time that makes sense. But any other time, toddlers, preschoolers, school agers, it does not make sense to charge by the age. What I'm going to recommend instead is to charge by the day. Have a daily rate structure, and that's how you're going to charge. Now, over in I'm actually going to pull this up really quick because I want to show you how because I've had to prove this in our industry, and a lot of owners just don't want to go this route because it's just what everybody's doing. Well, unfortunately, what everybody's doing is not business sense, right? So it's like the blonde leading the blonde. They're all going to fall in the ditch. Okay. Okay. So I don't want you falling in the ditch. I want you to have, the right information so that you understand why it makes more business sense to charge by the day. So let me share really, really quick, you guys. I'm going to share hang on. Let me share really quick. I'm going to show you something. And so if you guys have not seen this tool, but this is my fictitious daycare budget workbook. It is a 9-tab Excel workbook. It is a mean machine for you to be able to get all things regarding your numbers and the financials of your childcare business in order. This is the very first thing I have anyone to do when they're coming to me, whether we're trying to set our prices, whether you want to expand, because this tells me what if you're profiting or not. And at the end of the day, setting your tuition all boils down to, are you profiting? So just to show you, but this is what we do. We charge by the day. And if you see this, let's say that you were charging by the age, which is what most people do. You actually make more money when you charge by the day, because what's happening is that you're going to be able to have two families basically using and sharing one childcare slot, just like you see here. So we have one family coming in on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays because they're coming into a 3-day program. And then we have family number 2 coming in on Tuesdays and Thursdays because they're coming into a 2-day program. And you can see the difference. So for that slot, I am making $310 a week versus $250. This is it's like a hidden income stream, because this is the amount of money here is what I'm making extra just by doing that. That's $240 extra a month for that one, or actually you're getting off of 2 families, but for that one slot. So this is why I say charge by the day, do not charge by the age. And I gave you it, numbers don't lie. So I'm going to leave it there. You can do what you want to. It's like I always tell my clients, it is your business. You make the final decision, but I've already showed you that numbers don't lie. Okay. So charging by the age is going to be the best pricing structure. Avoid neglecting market research. Okay. So obviously, yes, you have to make sure that you go and look at your competitors. You have to make sure that you understand. And this is the third point, okay? Avoid neglecting market research. So don't go off of a feeling, but know why you're charging what you're charging, understand the reason why you're charging that. And you want to charge competitively as well. You want to, stay within the market. But failing to research what other daycares in your area are charging can result in pricing yourself out of the market. You don't want to price out of the market. You want to price in the market, but you want to price at the higher end of the market so that, so that you can make the profits that you need. And why do we need profits? Because profits is what provides quality childcare services. If we're not profiting, there's no way that you're going to be able to provide quality care, okay, and services to the community. So, if your rates are significantly higher or lower than others, parents may question the value you offer or assume your services are inferior or overpriced. Okay, so you have to. It's such a fine line, but I prefer you to be at the higher end of the market, within the market, and then that definitely, you know, is going to ensure that you are charging what you should be charging. But you have to understand what is being offered. And your job is to fill the gap. That is how you're going to be able to charge higher rates, is when you fill the gap. And the only way you're going to fill the gap is you got to know what's currently being offered, and either how what's currently being offered, what's not being offered, and if something is being offered, how you're going to do it better. Then you're going to fill that gap in, then that's going to justify you charging at higher rates. Okay, so avoid neglecting market research, guys. Know what your competitors are charging, know what they're offering, and then that's going to help you as well. Number 4, avoid setting prices based solely on cost. So this is another thing to avoid. Okay. So while it's important to cover your costs, setting prices purely by adding a margin to your costs. So, excuse me. We see this is stuff that gouging, I guess, is a really great way. So we don't want to do that. But this approach doesn't take into the account the perceived value of your services or what the market is willing to pay. So you should also consider factors like the quality of your services, your reputation, and client demand. So you want to ignore value-based pricing. Instead, focus on value-based pricing. Okay. I'm sorry. Instead, focus on value-based pricing, which is what I was just saying. So this is why you have to understand what your value is and why you are able to charge. Like, so what you're charging what your services are has to justify what you're charging. And that's based off of value. Okay. So, yeah. And so my notes just says that the method can often justify those higher prices. And so that's the way that you want to do that. Now, I'm going to tell you that there is, oh goodness. Well, I'll get into, well, here, now let me show you right now. So there is a resource that you definitely want to go grab. I feel like there's definitely some YouTube videos I have about like marketing yourself. Okay, so I'm going to get to some resources in a minute because I was going to show you that right now, but let me get through these last 2 points and I'm going to show you something that's really, really, really going to help you with the value aspect of it, because this is one thing, and this is the problem that I had. So I knew that I knew that my value and my quality of what I was providing was high, was like top tier, but I had a hard time articulating the value to families when they came in to enroll. So yes, that's the one. So it's the last video that I did about boosting your enrollment. That one's going to be really good for you to watch, because I do go in and talk about that value and all that. So I will be sure to leave that in the end screen as one of the recommended videos for you to go back and watch. And then I have another resource that you'll want to check into as well, that I'll share with you here in a few seconds when I wrap up this video. But that was my issue. Like, I just didn't know how to articulate that I had top tier services and that I was going to be offering quality services to families when they came in to tour or on the phone or in my websites or things like that. So, but yes, you do want to make sure that you do focus on that value, and then that you're able to articulate that value in all of your marketing channels everywhere. Okay. And so, So let's jump to number 5. And I'm moving through this really quickly because I have an appointment I have to get to in a few minutes. So I hope I'm not going too fast for you, but I hope that you're getting, what you need here. By the way, if you can subscribe to the channel really quick, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys. Go ahead and like this video because this pushes this out to more owners, those that are launching or owners who may be expanding or just owners who want to review their prices. But this pushes out to, I'll just say childcarepreneurs. If by liking that video, that lets YouTube know that, hey, we need to push this out. And also, this was in the top 5, which means that people are interested in this topic. And so when you like the video, it helps them to know, hey, there's a newer version of that video here. So go ahead, subscribe, like, and turn on your notifications so you know when I post up the next video, which right now I am weekly. I did miss a week last week because of Labor Day weekend, but right now we are weekly. Okay. Number 5 is, or are we on number 6? Yes, avoid frequent and unjustified price increases. So, and I think you guys know that. So I'm not going to really get too deep into that because basically here's what you got to do. If you do need to go up on prices, right? So like, let's say that you grab my tool that I'm going to share with you, after we get done here. And let's say that you do need to go up on prices. What you do want to do is they have to be justified. So when I went up on my prices, I actually sent out a full-blown letter to the families. We did the research for them. We went around to all of our competitors to the other daycares that we knew the families were going to be checking out when we did go up on our prices. And we basically gave them a chart. It was like a 3-4 page letter. And we gave them a chart with a side-by-side comparison of what this childcare business is offering versus what we did. And that really just, like, we did the homework for them. So it was a no-brainer for them to not need to go out and look elsewhere. If you do have to go up on your prices, you need to make sure that you can justify those prices. What I always recommend is that, first of all, set your prices the way that they need to be, right? Review them yearly, and then let the data tell you whether or not you need to go up on prices for the upcoming year. I've heard some will recommend for you to go up like a little bit of a percentage each year. I am a data-driven kind of person, so I prefer to look at the data. I mean, if things are cool, we're making profit, there's really no need for us to go up on prices. There's no need to go up on prices, okay? But anyways, let the data drive you. And so the only way that you're going to be able to know what you need to do is because you are keeping a budget. You know what's happening, your numbers, your profit margins, what your costs are, all those things. And then that's an easy way to let you know whether or not, hey, when the next year comes in January, we're going to go up on prices. Okay. But just make sure they're justified. And be very clear on, what the prices, if there is an increase, what is it going to, I'm a mom. So if you go up on prices, if I have my daughter at which she's 9. So, but if I had my daughter at your childcare business and you go up on prices, as long as you justify to me what they're for, and that I know it's going to go back to the quality that she's going to be receiving, I'm cool with that. Like, I don't have a problem with that. But if you're going up on prices and I don't know what it's for, then, I'm going to have an issue with that. And most parents are going to feel the same way. All right. Number 6, and the last one, is to avoid ignoring. This is the last one, the top one, the most important one. Avoid ignoring the importance of profit margins. Okay. You have got to have healthy profit margins. And when I say healthy, 20%, at least 20% of the time of this recording, that is a healthy profit margin. And so one of the things you guys are going to, if you've been watching all my videos, you're going to see me pull this tool up like all the time because, really everything revolves around your finances. Everything does. The finances tell a true picture of what is happening and what's not happening in your childcare business. And so I'm going to share my screen really quick just to show you what, just to give you that visual, because again, I'm very visual. And so I just know that, like, if I don't know, it just makes more sense to me when I can see things. Okay. So I'm going to share this with you one more time, and I'm going to show you. So on this, on the tabs here, you're going to see that we have the profit tab. This is the most important tab of this entire workbook. And if you guys watch, what was the other video that I did? I can't remember. Anyway, there was a video I did where I really dived deeper into this. I think it was titled something like, is childcare a profitable business to be in, or something of that nature? And we pull this up, but your profit margins need to be hitting at 20%. In this thing here, what I love about this is that, let's say, and I'm going to go into revenue, and I'm just going to pull, let's say we did 80,000. And then I go over here, it's going to go red. Okay. So it's what I love about this is that once you plug in all the numbers, it'll spit out immediately what your profit margins are, so that you can know what needs to happen and how you can fix that. But you do not want to ignore the importance of knowing that. And setting your prices with too narrow of a profit margin leaves little room for unexpected expenses or investment, to be able to invest back into your childcare. And so you always want to ensure that your pricing allows for a healthy profit margin. I said about the 20%, and this is to provide a cushion for your business operations and growth. And again, I'm all about the cushion, because when things happen and when things go down and you are barely making it, like you're literally at the line, it's a problem. And let me just say this, excuse me, when you are at that line, that is very dangerous, because what that means is that any little thing can cause you to go completely out of business, because you don't have the capital to be able to weather some sort of a storm. Okay. So, I hope this was helpful. Let me give you some resources if you want to dive deeper. Ones I'm going to recommend for you to grab if you're trying to set your prices. And so one of them is going to be, hang on, because I have these in my clipboard. So the one of them I'm going to highly recommend for you to grab is going to be my budget blueprint course. And it actually will, I'm going to share my screen so you can see what this looks like. But the budget blueprint course actually get access to the workbook that I just showed you. And then you also get access to, there's a separate training for every single tab. So this is, again, I would highly recommend you to grab this. And I'm going to leave the link down below for you to access this $100 off if you decide that you want to go ahead and invest into this. But this is going to basically, what I just showed you is, you're going to get that workbook. You're also going to get access to, and the workbook's going to come with those step-by-step on-demand video trainings, okay, where I actually walk you through every single tab. There also is a 12-month projection tab as well. And that is one that's, if you're launching, it's really great, because it's going to help you really project your first 12 months in business. It's also great if you are, let's say, trying to plan for the next year, so that you can project what your upcoming year needs to look like financially. You get the, actually it's 9 tabs. We need to update that, but it's 9 tabs, because we updated one of the tabs to actually even help you understand how you need to schedule staff. There's a staff scheduling tab in there that coincides with payroll, so that you know what that looks like, and all the things to ensure that that you're staying within budget in payroll, because that's one of the top expenses. You get my business plan template worksheet. And you also get the business plan template worksheet. Yes. Funding list options. I do go over funding in this as well. So budget and funding, again, this is all here. This is going to save you so much time, reduce budget or funding anxiety, decrease your overwhelm. Honey, listen, when you get up in this workbook, honey, any answers you have about anything about your childcare business, prices, how much you should be charging, how many kids you need, how much is it going to cost you to actually start your childcare business or expand it. It's all in here. The other thing I want to show you as well is going to be this is one that is really, really good. So this is my automated marketing and effortless childcare enrollment tab. This one also has $100 off. So if you were to get both these, you're getting $200 off, but they're $100 off each. So this one here, which I think I showed this in one of my other videos as well, but this one is going to help you. In fact, it's the first module in the course, is going to go over how to brand yourself. And then it's going to walk you into yes, this one here, this is game changer. If you are struggling with how to articulate your prices, if you're struggling with how to articulate the value, this one here, this one module, you've got to see this, how to position yourself in the marketplace. I recommend everybody get this. And then creating your tour and enrollment process. This goes over how, because here's the thing about it. Once you increase your prices, right, now we have to know, you got to know how to articulate yourself and the value. And then you got to know how to actually sell your enrollment slots, right? So this course here is going to guide you through all of that as well. And again, I'm going to make sure to leave the link to both of these, the exclusive link, this link here, to be able to grab the $100 off for each of those courses. So you're getting 2 coupons in a way, or I guess you could say it that way, 2 exclusive links that give you that $100 off. So, okay, you guys, I need to get to my appointment, but I hope that this video was helpful. If you do have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those in the description, or not the description box, but be sure to leave those in the comments, you guys. The comments come to my phone. So, if you do have any questions or anything like that, be sure to leave those there. All of the links are going to be in the description. So be sure that you do check those. And then also do not forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications. And I will meet you back in our next upcoming video.